Hi there, I'm Anne Richmond, aka Hearthsinger, the head bard in charge around these parts. Let me ask you this. Have you guys ever wanted to play a TTRPG where everyone was a bard? Me. I do. I want to go to there. Well, guys, you are in luck because today I am going to do an overview of the new epic metal fantasy tabletop role playing game, Gods of Metal Ragnarock from Hunters Entertainment. Throw your dramatic, epically tragic backstory out the window because it is time to create a character who is being crushed by their entirely ordinary life. Take, for example, my character, Marcia Kingsley. She's a server at the famed Outhouse Steak Place. You know the one, right? She's being crushed by the financial stress of her defaulting student loans, and her passion for fashion has been all but ripped from her hands like candy from a baby. At your lowest low, your breaking point, a metal Metatron calls you to Ragnarok, ripping you through the umbilical descent, and your avatar of rock is born into a world of epic metal fantasy. Wow! We're talking goblin kingdoms, citadels of hardened slime and calcified ichor, a ziggurat-strewn forest, swamps and wildlands where the spirits of old technology roam free. Here in Ragnarok, the ambitions of your heavy metal life should make you feel like you can finally cast off the shackles that held you captive in the old world of Mundania. Here, you assemble your band of avatars and adventure for your righteous cause. And of course, every avatar gets a totally kick-ass name, like Kron the Crusher, Lady Death, or in my case, Smoke and Mirror. They also have a righteous cause, like eat the rich or bring noise to the silence. Basically, the format is action the noun. Smoke and Mirror follows the cause, clothe the worthy. When you enter Ragnarok, you pledge yourself to a god in order to gain their boons. Or, of course, you can be like me and enter totally unaligned, because nothing is more metal than telling the gods to go right off. In game terms, this is called choosing a tone, and it's basically like choosing a race or an ancestry in another TTRPG. You might walk the path of Fenrir, understanding that strength comes best in the form of a broken decibel meter. These are often the members of Mundania who cracked before being ripped through the umbilical descent. Or perhaps you intone the beliefs of Shrika. You don't have to be the best, but you certainly have to look the best doing it. Keep in mind that this choice does not actually come with a cosmetic value. You can manifest your appearance in Ragnarok however you like and in whatever style you want, as long as it's metal. I'm probably the least naturally metal person in the world, but when I did character creation, I invented this style that I like to call wild metal, and I just pushed that concept until I ended up as this bitchin' elf with glam rock hair, mossy antlers, a metallic unicorn horn, and a bow with a shrieking skull on the front of it. Yeah, I guess I basically took a druid, a bard, and an artificer and threw them in a mug and shook them up and shouted Yahtzee. So I want to know, how do you think your avatar of metal would manifest? Tell me in the comments below. Next, you have to choose your position in the band. This is like choosing your class in other more traditional TTRPGs. You might choose to be a brutalizer. These are the weapon-stacked warriors of metal. They are crushed by the weight of their lives in Mundania, and these avatars snapped long ago, long before they came here to Ragnarok. They get cool benefits like two-handed fighting. Blood Guards are the guardians of metal. They are deeply in tune with their tone, and they uphold the doctrines of their gods reverently as they play a supporting role to keep their band, well, rolling. Shredders tap into the power chords of creation with a focus on a legendary instrument. They are a very versatile class. They often represent Mundanians with an interest in musical pursuits in life, or maybe they were just focused on a very particular skill set. Howlers summon monsters with song to fight at their side. Their magic is indicative of battling both within themselves and with the pressures of the outside world. Their focus is on the song, and it can make them incredibly persuasive both in combat and out. Chord masters draw on the chord of creation through a more monastic tradition. Their righteous vow becomes their entire identity. They actually wear masks, and you never see their faces. And lastly, Amp Lords are the masters of gear. They create and tune incredible items to their will, and that's ultimately what I chose, because I felt like she was a fashion designer in life, so why wouldn't she be in Ragnarok? Now, you can build your skills any way you want, but it's your tone and your position in the band, your class, that tell you what kind of abilities you're going to be able to attach to gear or choose when you level up your notoriety. All denizens of Ragnarok enter the realm with 3 specific pieces of gear. You have your weapon, which gives you your damage stat, your outfit, which gives you your defense stat, and your accessory, which is going to give you your speed stat. When you first start the game, you'll be able to choose an ability to go with each of them. This RPG is played with D4s. Ah yes, the most metal and painful of all dice. For every performance check, you'll roll a pool of D4s based on what your skill score is. 4s on the dice are tributes, which you can use to activate abilities, succeed at various things in your skill's purview, or you can save tributes to share with your fellow bandmates who might need them to help on their subsequent rolls. The band always does best when everyone plays together, after all. However, when you roll a 1, it creates feedback, and you have to work with your metal maestro to resolve these disadvantages. You might completely fail at what you're doing, but you could also succeed at a cost, depending on your role. Feedback might affect how an NPC perceives you, or allow the metal maestro to activate a monster's special abilities. The only other die you'll need to use is a D10. To start combat, you'll add or subtract your speed to or from the D10 roll to get your initiative score. And depending on how you'd like to synergize with the rest of your band, you can choose when you'll go. My favorite feature of this system is that if you roll the same initiative as another player, you can harmonize. This means that the two of you go on the same turn. You can synergize all sorts of abilities that you have together, and you share any tributes you roll between the two of you. So depending on who you're going with, you can collaborate on some super powerful duets. Another awesome aspect of this game is called umbilical descent. It's not just the name for what happens when you're sucked out of Mundania and shunted into the world of Ragnarok. It's actually a pre-written narrative experience that takes you through character creation through the act of storytelling. I'm serious, you waste no time thumbing through the rulebooks, you just jump right into an adventure. And I'm going to be running some folks through Umbilical Descent on my Twitch channel on Thursday, February 18th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So be there or catch the VOD here later. And of course, there's no better way to make sure you don't miss that content than if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and click the bell icon so that you get a notification whenever I put out something new. And of course, if you want to support my content here and on Twitch, head over to Patreon where you'll find all sorts of TTRPG related goodness. Hunters Entertainment is running a Kickstarter for this game right now, so you gotta head to the info section and click the link to check it out. You can get a PDF of this for just $20, and there are some incredible stretch goals that are gonna make this a super metal multimedia experience. Guys, they're trying to develop an album. It's nuts over there. Go check it out, and I'll see you next week right here on Heartsinger Games. Someone once told me that I look like a female Jack Black. Actually, I don't know why I said someone. Many people over the years have told me this. I don't see it, but if this helps you, no one can destroy the metal. The metal will strike it down with a vicious blow. Okay, bye. See you next week for real this time.